Okay, greetings all. First time I've tried this. It's obviously a bit of a different format. I've educated myself with some editing, and I was using iMovie. Was the one that I chose to use, and it's just you can obviously cut things and start things again, and just to keep the video flowing a little bit, rather than you watching all the boring bits. Not saying this is interesting anyway. So Steven Spielberg, watch out. As you just heard, there was thunder outside as well, and I was getting stuff done in the garage. As you can see here, I'm just loosening up, keeping things moving really. There was 3 games of football on Saturday, 2 o'clock, 5 o'clock and 8 o'clock. And this was after the 2 o'clock game, I think it was, and probably about 4 o'clock for about 45 minutes. Just thought I'd get out and do a little bit. Less said about the football, the better, really, as well, with England last night. But there it is. What can you do? As you can see, the rings that I'm on, this is a new addition to my gym. Quite an enjoyable piece of kit as well. They're only about £15, and like normal exercise as well. When you first get up there, you sort of set them up and you think, I'll just have a quick go of this, do a couple of flips or something. But just to hold the basic sort of neutral position is quite challenging. First of all, you need to have the strength to lock your arms out, and then secondly, which doesn't come easy, or didn't come easy for me anyway, was to sort of grab the balance and hold yourself up properly, and then you can build on that as well. And there's loads of different little things you can do. As you can see as well, it's not just the little exercises which are good, but it's also really good for stretching as well. You can here I'm doing it. I've done a chest on Friday, and then I'm just stretching all the sort of triceps and chest out. Here, as you can see, I've warmed up and bouncing up and down. This is kind of in preparation for a thing that I do. I've got some monkey bars set up above my head, but obviously you'll see that. Here I'm doing some sort of squats, some deep squats, and I try to keep my weight distribution in each foot 50-50, and try to get really, really deep, like get my ass to the grass, as they say. When I first started squatting, it was weird because I was doing it completely wrong, and my knees were protruding my feet if you stand to the side. I've noticed a lot of people do it as well. People without MS do it as well. But your knees are supposed to at least stay in line with your feet. You're sort of supposed to move your bum back a bit further than what you probably would do originally. The first thing that I done straight away is when I did kind of do a proper squat is roll over and land on my bum and bang my head a couple of times as well. So it didn't take me too long to work out that to do it next to a wall, just a few inches off a wall. So when you do fall back, or when I fell back, I had the wall to catch me as well. This one here is a little balance thing as well that I do. With MS, you get very dizzy and disorientated quite easily. And say, for example, if you're just window shopping, you're walking along and looking at things in the shop, and even that can sort of knock you off balance, and you can sort of get dizzy doing that. I used to have to hold on to a hand, hold on to my wife's hand, not just anyone's. And I had a stability there as well, and I don't need to do that as much now. I'm a little bit more mindful of what's going on as well. Got the kettlebell here, another little exercise. This one I kind of used for a bit more coordination. When I first started, I was doing it all in front of me, like moving the kettlebell left to right, and then when I got used to that, then I moved the kettlebell behind me left to right, and as you can see now I can move it around my body quite easily as well. This I was just doing this to limber up. Like I said, there's no weight to it at all, and this is just if you was to attach a bit more weight, this would be like a shoulder exercise. But then also you're doing you're doing your core muscles as well, and all the little balance muscles as well. So yeah, I normally stick a hand out just to sort of gauge my balance, and yeah, it's just a little sort of test as well. Yeah, like I say, keeping everything moving. This one's obviously left to right. There he goes again, bouncy boy. And I think maybe this time, yeah, just trying to get a bit of air, as you can see. Didn't really feel that. I've done better on this one. I just sort of took about 3 or 4 to actually get real good one. I think that might have been a good one. And yeah, I normally do about 10 of those. Normally after this though, as it always happens for me, the dizziness comes over and you get this sort of like my head sort of just goes really light, and the vision goes completely sort of off the scale, and yeah, I just need to stop and take time out and not do anything, just kind of stand there just for a few seconds until thankfully everything comes back. For me, it's to do with my core temperature. Every time that it goes over to a certain point, then yeah, the symptoms just heighten, and I just need to just literally chill out. So yeah, that's what I do. This one, like I said earlier, this is the one with the monkey bars above my head. So to warm up to this, I do sort of touch the fixing above the monkey bars, normally 5 or 10 times on each hand. As you can see, I've done the right side. Got a bit dizzy there, so I took a bit of time out again to recoup, and then yeah, finish the sort of the touch on either side of the 5. And then this exercise, the mental sort of the mind, how to actually jump up there and catch yourself. For the first time I'd done it, it was one of those things I knew I could do, but the mental block that I had, and almost the days that I sort of stood there and sort of looking up at it and kind of thinking of all the worst scenarios that could happen. I could miss my grip, or I might just grip hold of one hand and I'll lose my balance, and all this sort of nonsense. But yeah, when you do it, or when I've done this now, it's one of those things that pretty much I could actually walk into the garage cold now and jump up there and catch myself. So yeah, just one of those things that I've stuck with. I've got one going on now at the moment. It's one of those things I've done probably a handful of times now on the rings, and it's like a forward roll. And yeah, as long as I hold on to the rings, I'm going to be safe. And I've done it before as well, but the mental block that I've got at the moment is just one of those things that I'm just going to have to persist with and keep with it. And then yeah, eventually I'll be able to do it quite successfully. I'll probably show you that in another video. Anyway, as you can see, I must have got a bit dizzy then as well, and I needed a bit of time out. This one I must have done my 5 left and 5 right already, and then I've just edited onto the jumping up in the catching myself. This isn't just nice as well, just to know that you can do it, but also as well when you like actually hang loose, it's like a really good stretch. Obviously, there's no obviously weight through your feet, and you can just stretch everything out through your body as well. What do you reckon? One more? Looks like one more. Another thing that I was doing as well, I noticed while I was doing this, I was noticing I was quite stiff on the landing, so I was trying to soften the landing all the time. I tried something just like an L-sit, that one's called, and yeah, got a bit dizzy, banged into the garage as you can see, and then yeah, obviously needed a bit of time out. So yeah, up again anyway. See what I'm doing here. Yeah, just rotating the hips. It's the tightest part of my body, like the hips. Like I think I've explained on videos before. This one, I'm just putting like my ankle on top of my knee and getting it locked in, and then leaning back, and it's a really good stretch for my hips. There is safer ways you can do this. I just like after I've done it on the ground over the years, I suppose I can sort of do it now with standing up, and it's a good way of testing your balance as well when you do sort of work out the stretch. This one I just try to keep my standing foot fairly straight as well, and yeah, just try to keep good form of it. What's it doing here? This must have just been another stretch. Probably with this, looking at how I've lowered myself, this is a good stretch for the lower back. And yeah, this is probably my last exercise, bit of a party trick. I can actually obviously control myself going up nicely, and yeah, probably done about 10 of those. With this one, I try to control it more on the way down, so you kind of trick your body into thinking like the hard one's the easy one and the easy one's the hard one. And yeah, same as weights as well. If you control the negative, the actual push doesn't seem as hard as what it should be if you was just concentrating on the push, rather than concentrate on the negative as well. You can trick your mind and get a few more reps out. Yeah, I think that's me done. See you in the next vid.